Hi, my name's Nick Paris, and today I'm going to take you through a quick overview of how to set up a stereo pair of cameras and make a recording and complete a save. So first of all, I'm going to take you through the camera actual setup, and I'll overlay a picture here of the cameras. And what I've simply done is, of course, supplied power to both the cameras. I've got both cameras connected via an Ethernet switch to my laptop, and then I've connected the sync BNCs on the back of these two 5 series cameras just simply to each other with a BNC connection, and then the trigger is input to both cameras and then goes off to a pickle switch so as I can press the button to trigger the cameras. This enables us to ensure that the cameras are synchronized via the sync lead and then triggered together with the trigger lead. Okay, I'm now going to take you through to the software. And here we have the software. We've got the USB dongle plugged in, so we've got Control Multi-DAC running. This enables us to control more than one camera. And I've done a rescan for cameras, and we can see we have 2 cameras here on the left hand side. I can say add and connect to all, and the camera brings in on the main screen here. Now you can see these cameras have already been labelled right and left, and so we can then shift them around, make them make sense, and then we can also say we can view the image, and so I can say this is my left image, I can see a live image here, and then this is my right image, and I can see a live image here. When you first get your cameras, the camera name will be the serial number, and so we can simply go into here and say modify camera settings, and then go to general, and we can change the name of the camera. And here I've named it left, and then if I click on the right camera, you'll see that in general it's named right. This is really useful when we're doing saves, because we can say use camera name in the save file format. And so images from the left camera will be saved with the word left in the file save path, and so forth for the right. So now we've got the cameras, we've connected to those cameras, we can simply move to the next tab, which is the capture tab. And so now these cameras are here, we've got the left camera here, we've got the right camera here, and both these cameras have a live image. So what we can simply do is we could control the cameras independently, and so as you click left and right you select each camera. But what I'm actually going to do is set the frame rate of my left camera that I'm going to be setting as master in a second, and I'm going to set it to 1000 frames per second. So now this camera on the left is performing at 1000 frames per second, and the one on the right is still left at 100 frames per second. Because of that BNC that's connected between the 2 cameras, I can now say this left camera is the sync master, and I can select sync master. You'll see it's shown up here as green with the word master. And over on the right hand side here we can see that this camera is naturally a slave. If I select it, you can see sync slave, and you can see it's locked to the external signal of 1000 Hertz. And so now the cameras are locked together in their frame rates. All of the controls, with the exception of shutter speed, is locked out for the slave camera because all the frame rates and the resolution has now been set. So now cameras are ready to go as a pair. At this point I will then select apply changes to all cameras, and you'll see some boxes turn red. This means that if I make a change to this, it will make changes to both. But what I'm simply going to do here now is set the camera's recording and press the record button. You'll see that the cameras start to pre-buffer. We have our cyan eye check, and with the memory that's in this camera at 1000 frames per second, the pre-buffer is a 32-second record buffer, so it will take 32 seconds to fill that pre-buffer. We advise that you let this pre-fill and go to a green sweep to ensure your trigger position is correct. And so we can see here that we've got independent control of the reticles, etc. As we go through, we can see the options on the right. And now we can see that the buffers have gone green. And so this means now we're circling inside that circular buffer, and I can press trigger when the event happens. So what I'm going to do is attempt to drop the item of interest and then press trigger. And so now I've pressed trigger as the item dropped. The camera is set by default to 50% trigger, and so it will continue to record in this case for a further 16 seconds. If you want this to be a shorter, you can divide the buffer up or change your frame rate. When you go to a higher frame rate, the buffer will be shorter, of course. So now we have the video from both cameras brought through to review. We've automatically jumped to review. And now we can scrub through the image and see the video happening and find the point where the video dropped. Okay, so now I can see my pen dropping in here. I can play backwards, and then I can say this is maybe this might be after the first drop. So now let's go to here. So now I can step frame this in and bring that pen into shot, and this may be where I want to start my recording. So I've got apply changes to all cameras, so let's use current for the clip start, and that sets my frame where I want to save from as -286. It's 286 frames before the trigger point. Now I'm going to play forwards and stop there. And this is now frame -122. And so I now want to save both cameras to there. So I use clip end. And so now we're having a total record duration of 165 frames. And so it's as simple as that. We've now made a recording, we've played it back, we've selected where we want to save to and from. I can now go to the save menu, and now you can see the numbers have been brought through here. I'm going to save it to my computer. I'm going to save to my C drive as an image stack. You can save as what format you wish, 8-bit TIFF stack in this case. I'm going to call it stereo folder and test 1. But importantly, you'll see here that it's stereo, test 1, and then camera name, and so on. So I can actually select what I want to build this name structure up with the options we have here. I can say include camera name in file name, and we've put that first, and then put frame number for image sequences second. And so this means that one stack of images will have the word left in them, and the other stack of images will have the word right in them. And so then we can then save. So that's selected good. You can add other things here, date stamps, time stamps, etc. Change the order of which you wish to have them in this line here, and we select OK. So now I can select save all cameras, and then we can say yes. And you can see what happens is we download from the first camera, and then we download from the second camera. Once this download is complete, the cameras can then be freed for the next recording. And that quite simply is how you process a stereo image of cameras. Thank you.